My topic is increasing diversity and inclusion in the workforce. To understand diversity, experts in the field recommend that we add inclusion and equity on top of diversity. Slide 1 shows these three concepts that are all interrelated and cannot be interchanged. When you put the three pillars together, diversity, inclusion, and equity, you get belonging, but excluding one of the three pillars can lead to a con. The cons of only contributing diversity and inclusion are that dominant groups form. These dominant groups can often have more tasks and more opportunities. Con 2, which is caused by causing only diversity and equity, is that culture assimilation causes conflict and turnover. When you only include inclusion and equity, you can have too much of one thing, and this will cause simplified views. This is backed by research on diversity, inclusion, and equity promoting belongingness by Brimhalla et al. 2017. Slide 2 demonstrates why we need to address diversity and inclusion in the workforce. This is the 2010 census, the 2019 census, and a population prediction for 2015. As the graph shows, the US population is trending towards more diversity. In 2010, the majority of the population were whites at 65%, followed by Hispanics at 16%, then blacks at 12%, and Asians at 5%. The 2019 figure shows that whites were down to 60% and Hispanics gained 2%, and others gained a single percent point each. The projected 2050 figure shows a completely different picture. The whites will no longer be the majority as it shows that will be 46%. The fastest growing populations will be Hispanics. This graph clearly shows that there is a diverse population. It is important to address diversity and inclusion as a workforce will represent these racial and ethnic components. Another important reason is that women make up 52% of the total population. But looking at slides 3 and 4, they are underrepresented in the leadership positions. For instance, slide 3 shows that the number of female CEOs in the Fortune 500 companies are slowly increasing over the years, but not fast enough. At present, only 3 of the 37 female CEOs are women of color, and only 7% run the high powered companies. Slide 4 shows another example of underrepresentation of female presidents of colleges. It should be noted that 60% of the student population are female students, lead only 26% of the female presidents. Looking at data on presidents of all types of colleges, only 30% are female. However, the graph shows less than 25% of female presidents are hired in the comprehensive doctoral level universities. Research by Teague shows that female leaders in leadership positions financially outperformed those companies that had fewer female leaders in the managerial positions. Slide 5 shows the components of an inclusive workforce. It includes age, education level, disabilities and abilities, sexual orientation, race and ethnicity, language, economic status, work experience, personality types, and marital status. Slides 6 and 7 go hand in hand, looking at the way we need an inclusive workforce. An inclusive workforce promotes meaningful work, respect, trust, appreciation of unique individual attributes, equitable reward and recognition, access to equal opportunities, tolerance, most importantly, a sense of belonging. Slide 7 demonstrates the benefits of a diverse and inclusive workforce. If we have a diverse and inclusive workforce, there will be an increased productivity and revenue increase because people from different backgrounds will bring together different perspectives, will enhance higher innovation and decision making, which will increase creativity. People will feel they belong there. So retention of the employees will be high, which will lead to better company reputation. The next slide, slide 8, is about what companies need to do to foster diversity. Some of the strategies listed in the literature are commitment from the top, building trust, diversifying leadership, re examining organization policy on harassment and discrimination, more open communication, and encouraging employee input. Slide 9 is the final chart. This chart is about what kind of skills do the managers need to manage and maintain diversity and inclusiveness in the workforce. Several strategies have been recommended in the literature. Name and examples. These include self evaluate your biases, change your organizational culture, implement mentoring programs, mandate diversity training for all, implement diverse internships, eliminate discriminatory hiring practices, and examine institutional biases and practices. So, in conclusion, to understand diversity, we need to examine inclusion and equity. We need to also learn and understand benefits of an inclusive, diverse workforce. Demographics and cultural representations increase productivity, revenue, and retention, sense of belongingness, building tolerance, trust, and giving equal opportunities to all employees. Strategies to increase diversity include examining corporate culture, biases, hiring practices, and creating meaningful dialogue. Also, implementing mentoring, diversity, and inclusion programs and promote a sense of belongingness.